Are you ready for what I've been playing, what I've been watching, what I've been reading? Let's go! Hey YouTube, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel at Bambinos. Welcome to this week's what I've been playing, what I've been watching, what I've been reading. That's the new dance. Sorry, I'm absolutely shattered. I've had a good weekend. I hope you all had a great weekend as well. I thought it was a good Sunday when I start the day with a run with my dog Rossi. We did 6.5 kilometers, but I've missed. If I didn't go today, I think it would have been a month without going running. So we had to go. So that was my training update. But I think it's catching up on me now. I just run up the stairs and I can feel my hips, my old man hips are really tired. So sorry, I'm just exhausted. I've had a lovely afternoon nap. You can tell old age is catching up on me, can't you? I hope you had a good weekend. Those of you that weren't in work, I had a weekend off. I work Monday to Friday now. Update on my new job is I think I did a video last week. I've had a promotion. I've only been there 6 weeks or something, and I'm enjoying it. When I'm there, it's great. There's just, I gotta be careful what I say. A few teething problems, not with my company, with something else, where I'm setting the expectation basically that I'm not going to be working from 5:30 in the morning till 10 in the night. It doesn't work like that. But once we get these teething problems out the way, we'll be fine. So what have I been playing? Oh, before we go any further as well, I did mention it. He was on my live stream yesterday. Friend of the channel, fellow YouTuber from across the pond in America. Hum along if you can't sing along. Rest in peace to his cat. I made a note to, I just wanted to mention it. It's very sad when you lose a pet. They are, as far as I'm concerned, they're members of the family. You know, some people think, oh, it's only an animal, it's only a pet. No, they are members of the family. I don't care what anyone says. So, sending him some positive vibes and some love, you know, at this hard time, you know. It's, it must be hard. So I hope you're doing okay. And thanks for being a friend of the channel. Okay, so what I've got a few. God, every time I do these videos on a Sunday, my voice is going. I've got a bit of a sore throat coming. Bit of a mess. So what have I been playing? Played one PS5 game, and the Xbox One is getting all the love because it's my new console, it's my new toy. So the one game I played is Horizon Forbidden West. I think last week when I did this video, it was installing, or it just installed, and I hadn't actually played it. So I'm a couple of hours in. I played it, I think, Sunday night, Monday and Tuesday. Story was very good. It's very nice. I finished the first one twice. Tried to do it a third time sober. I've done it twice drunk basically, but sober Tony, my new chapter in my life, sober chapter. I couldn't get into it at all. So I like the combat. I like the open world. So this is more of the same. I don't know. It's nice. Things I like is it Aloy, isn't it? The woman, the main character. So kind of spoiler, I suppose, but it's not a major spoiler. She saves the world in the first one, and it's nice to see. I'm not sure how long this is set after the first one. Maybe I missed that. I'm skipping so many the cutscenes in it. I'll talk about that in a sec. I like the fact that they built a nice big statue of her. So she's gone from... It's quite sad. The beginning of the first one, she's shunned, isn't she? She's like a little girl. It's like the the prologue or whatever. You play as her when she's a child and stuff, and it's not fair what the people are doing to her. So it's nice now. She's gone from that to start in this game where she's famous. Everyone knows who she is. The statues of her in the capital and all that shit. But I made the mistake I made was I started watching YouTube. I try not to do it, but it must have been, dare I use the word, boring, where it wasn't entertaining me enough. So I like the grind in these games. It's got RPG elements to it. It is an RPG at the end of the day. So I thought I'll put YouTube on and just turn the volume down on my TV and just grind out. And I don't know, I'm not in a mad hurry to go back to it. I'm going to give it another go. I didn't pay, I think I paid £16 something for this. I'm glad I didn't pay 50. I wasn't tempted. It's not like it's a Street Fighter 6 or a King of Fighters 15, you know. It's not that. So I always wait for these kind of games. They're all right. You know, some people say they're the best games ever, but it shows how far I've come then, where graphics, this is one of the best looking games I've ever played of this type. I think that's a good question. I don't know what the best graphics I've ever seen. It's probably DNF Duel. I was really impressed with Street Fighter 6 graphics. But the wow factor, it's probably Guilty Gear Strive and DNF Duel. But it's a very different game. They're fighting games, you know. But as far as an open world RPG, this is probably the best I've ever seen, you know. It does make me want to upgrade my TV, but my telly's going strong. It's a Sony telly. I had that. My mum surprised me with that when I was living in Carlisle. And I'm kind of wanting an upgrade. It did kind of look like it broke, but it fixed itself. It's a clever telly. I don't understand. And I like the fact that the remote controls my PlayStation as well. Didn't even know it does that. You know, I didn't have to set anything on it. But yes, I played that. I'm probably I think my character's 10 or 11, 12 maybe, something like that. I think in the first one she only got to, she maxed out at level 30, I think. And that's right, I remember the grind was more fun, just hunting like that Tyrannosaurus Rex thing. The first time you tried to fight that, it kicks your ass. But then I was 5-hit killing them for fun, you know. I was so overpowered. But when I maxed out all the levels, it became quite boring. So it might be more of the same, you know. But it's okay, you know. It's like a 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10 so far. But it's my fault. I have no idea what's going on with the story because I'm skipping all the bloody cutscenes, you know. Let me know. Does it get better? Is it worth carrying on? It's not going to be a life-changing game. It's worth the 15-16 quid I paid for it, you know. Okay, what else have I been playing then? I finished this today, Halo 5 Guardians. Again, saying about graphics, it's brilliant. It's stunning. Really good looking worlds. They're not quite open world. They're quite large maps, if you like. Story-wise, it's okay. These guys kind of against each other, the Master Chief and this dude. It was an okay game, but my main criticism of it, and I remember seeing the advert for this, and it's like a cutscene. It's televised advert. I don't know how old the game it is. 2015. So I don't normally watch telly, but I remember it came on TV. So I must have either been visiting someone that had a TV linked up. Obviously I got TVs. I don't watch telly though, you know. Or maybe it was when I was back living at home with my mother, you know. So my big criticism, all the cutscenes are epic, okay, the action cutscenes, and you're like, I can't wait to play that. And then it's a first-person shooter again. It's like all these amazing things happening in the cutscene. It's like I'd rather you have no cutscenes and put that extra work into you play part of the cutscene, even if it's just QuickTime events. I'm not the biggest fan of QuickTime events, but it's like, I'll just put the controller down then and enjoy this cutscene. Where the difference then between this and Horizon, I turned off YouTube when I was playing this, so I watched every single cutscene. I was putting the controller down, but there was at least 3 or 4 of the cutscenes where I thought, why like one of the flying missions. This is one of the out of all the games I've ever played that have flying missions in them, this is my favourite game, hands down. They've nailed the controls on it. Oh, and saying about the controls as well, because I've done my Master Chief Collection, basically Halo, reached Halo 2, 3, 4, the controls on this are what I would call more traditional first-person controls. Maybe you can turn it back to the classic controls, but like things like, what have they moved? Where you reload is a different button. Where you hit your melee, your opponent, they've swapped those 2 round. So the amount of times I was going to and throw grenade, I was thinking I'm throwing a grenade, and I'm doing something else, and it was a bit frustrating actually. But you probably wouldn't have that problem if you'd, like a lot of people, they play Halo 1, and a couple of years goes by, then they play Halo 2, they don't ever play it again, then Halo 3, so on and so on. So if they played Halo 4 and then waited 2 or 3 years and then played this, it's more like Call of Duty controls. That's what I'm trying to say. If that makes any sense, well done. Well done to you. But I did enjoy it. I'd give that game an 8 out of 10, I gotta be honest. Really am enjoying my first person shooters, but I turned it off halfway through the day. I wanted to watch, I talk about it in a bit, The Raid 2 I hadn't finished, so I finished that. I was ready. I'm kind of, if someone give me, what's the new one called? The Halo Infinite, is it? Someone give me that right now and said to play it, not going to hurry to play that. I think I'm Halo'd out for the time being, because I've done 4 or 5. This is my 6th Halo game in a month. Is it about a month? I'm not sure. Even less than a month, you know. So I did enjoy it, but it's not the best story. It's not the best gameplay. It is the best graphics, but it's still a good game. And that cost £3, you know. It's probably because they sold so many of them. Like all the Halo games are relatively cheap, aren't they, to pick up in good old reliable CEX. I see this game everywhere. Everywhere I went yesterday had this in stock, you know, and they all seem to be selling it for £3. Yeah, I've more than had my money's worth with that. And the only other game, surprise, surprise, I've been playing is, I'm still going through the roster of Killer Instinct. Who have I played as? Is it Tusk? I played as him for a bit. What's her name? I played as her. I'm just exploring the characters. I haven't played through yet, but I think Orchard, Rash, and Spinal, and Raptor, he's pretty cool. It's such an addictive game though. This game has not let me down at all. And I remember one night I was working, I planned, because my new job, on a normal shift, if everyone turns up, is 9 till 5, happy days. But I planned to go for a swim, because I work in a gym. I wanted to go for a swim before work, so I set the alarm a couple of hours earlier, like 6, half 6 or whatever. And the night before, I should have had an early night. I go, I'll just take it one more round, and then another round, one more round. So I think one more round turned into half hour. I probably have gone through the full roster in that. But yeah, it's probably Orchard so far. It's my favourite in that. Is that everything? Yeah, so I'm just checking I've always got my notes on my phone. So yeah, Halo 5, it does load. I think I talked about that yesterday. I don't know, there's something funny going on with my Xbox One where basically it's working. That's the long story. It is working. And controls. Yeah, so digital. I haven't played any digital only games. It's basically been Halo week. What have I been watching? So I briefly mentioned it earlier on. I finished The Raid 2. It's a great movie. I don't know. Yeah, it's probably better than the first one. There's more twists and turns. The first one is like, I think I used the word, it stays in its lane. It's like an action, violent, martial arts movie, and it's just safer film. This has got more, so the Raid 2's got more twists and turns, a bit more character development, but it just ends very suddenly. I don't know, is there a Raid 3 in the workings? I don't know. But I just hope he goes back to his wife and his kid. That would have been a nice ending for me if he goes back and sees, because I think his wife's pregnant in the first one, so I don't know if he's actually ever met his son, daughter. I don't know, but if you haven't seen The Raid or The Raid 2, they're both on Netflix. Go check it out. Tell them Tony sent you. Right, movies. I'm trying my best to come off my medication, or rather, I don't like relying on my medication. I know I need to take my day tablets, but I don't know what they're called. I got pink tablets and blue tablets. Whenever someone asks me, what medication do you take then? I have no idea. I got pink ones and blue ones. So the pink ones are my day ones, and my blue ones are my night ones. So I've constantly got to be working out what time to take my sleeping tablet. They're for other things, but I take them for sleeping, basically. I think people with schizophrenia take them, but the reason it's only a low dosage. I take them for sleeping, basically. So, and my theory was right today. It was proven right today. So I'm taking less of them, and because I don't like it, they do work, but I feel terrible in the morning. Like, I feel really heavy and drowsy, and it's really hard to get out of bed. So I took, I think, Monday, Tuesday. Of course, I'm in a new job as well. I took them. Then Wednesday, I don't think I slept. Oh, there's one night last week I didn't take them, and I just had, I think, less than an hour's sleep all night. So I was like, I was a bit gutted. But when I don't know if you guys do this or suffer from this, when you got to get up early in the morning, or you got to get up early in the morning, you've got this pressure on you then to have a good night's sleep. So you go to bed early and you close your eyes and you go, right, I've got to sleep now. And it doesn't happen. And then because you can't sleep, it starts winding you up and you get pissed off, or your anxiety starts going. So what I do is, obviously, if I'm not taking my tablets, I've been on these tablets for ages now, years. But I'm looking long term, I want to come off them. So movies, that relaxes me. So rather than thinking out about the fact that I'm not sleeping, I watch movies. But the plan is I watch movies. I've got my movies to sleep to. I haven't watched Alien or Aliens, but the horror movies, aren't they? But they in my comfort films. It's a bit weird, right? So I've watched this week The Last Starfighter. I really enjoy that movie. If you haven't seen it, how would I describe it? It's a mid-80s, I think, and it's based on, it's like a guy lives in a trailer park, and he's got ambitions. His girlfriend lives there, and like everyone around in the trailer park is happy with their comfy lives. They're not interested in, they want to go to the local college, but he's got big plans. He's ambitious, he wants to go to city college. And how he vents, or how he lets off steam, is he plays this arcade machine called The Last Starfighter, and it's like it's not actually a game. That's the annoying thing, the gutting thing about it. It's like a Star Fox kind of, well before Star Fox, but it kind of looks like a Star Fox kind of game if it was made in the 80s, and he gets the record on, something happens, he's pissed off, I've had enough of this town kind of thing, because he's so ambitious, he thinks he's made for bigger, better things, you know. So he's playing, my favourite scene in the whole film, right? He's playing this game, The Last Starfighter. And he's got a little brother who's obsessed with him. And he's obsessed with space and all that. And so the bloke's playing now. And he's like, at the start, I think, he's talking to his girlfriend, almost arguing with her or something. But he's still playing it. Not ignoring her, but like, that's what he's doing when she comes home or whatever. So he's not happy with her about something. And then she's like, hey, this is your highest score. You're going to get the record. And his little brother shouts, this is so unrealistic, right? His little brother shouts down to all the people on the trailer park. And the average age on this trailer park must be 80 years old. They're all old biddies and stuff. Lovely people, right? And they all come running up with the Zimmer frames and with the bad backs up these flights of stairs to watch him play and get the record on The Last Starfighter. They're all crowding round him, all cheering, go on, yeah. And his little brother's there, like, don't crowd him. You know, like trying to protect him because it's important to get the record. And the games are that important to me, but they're not that, especially in the 80s. The 80-year-olds wouldn't give a flying F about getting a record on a video game, you know. So he gets the record. This is the start of the film. And he's like, yeah, brilliant. And he's all happy, right? And then, like, he's the town or the trailer park or whatever they're living on. I'm not sure what they call them, but we'll call it a trailer park. It's obviously set in America. Yeah, he's the hero, you know. Yeah, good job, Alex. I think his name is. Yeah. And then I think he has a grant or something. He doesn't get a grant to go to City College or something. So his emotions up here, then he's back down here, and he storms off and he's like hanging around by where the arcade game is. And this man turns up in this fucking really futuristic looking car. It looks like something off Akira. Akira. And he's there, and like the doors open like a DeLorean, and you can't see who's in there. And he goes, "Excuse me there. Do you know where I find the guy who got the record on that arcade machine?" And the guy goes, "I'm sure it's Alex." He goes, "Alex, you're looking at him." And he goes, "Oh, I have matters to speak to you of utmost importance. Please get in, step into my office." He gets in the car. Go watch it, right? But the car is basically a spaceship, and the arcade machine it's not actually an arcade machine. It's like a recruitment device that's connected to the galaxy thing. So because he gets the record, they say this guy can save the galaxy kind of thing. So yeah, hopefully I explained it well. I was about to talk all the way through the bloody thing, and then I remembered I'm talking to a fucking video camera. Yeah, but I love that. One of my favourite feel-good movies. Saying about Akira, I've got this here. It's on Netflix as well, Akira. The Last Starfighter, I got it on my iPad. I own it, so I don't know if that's on any of the streaming services. But if you're a gamer, if you like your 80s movies, half a fan of Star Wars, it's not as good as Star Wars. No, let's calm down a bit, but yeah, it's a feel-good movie, and it's like, if you like Star Wars and video games, yeah, definitely worth checking out. That's The Last Starfighter. So yeah, Akira, I got that just as a prop, but I watched this. We'll talk about Akira in a sec as well later on when what I've been reading. I reckon I've watched this about 50 times, okay? And I'm still noticing stuff in the background. This is what I would call a masterpiece. Now, this is as good as Star Wars. Don't care what anyone says. And this is the collector's edition. So I got a Blu-ray. And when I get a 4K TV, guess what one of the first 4K discs I'm going to pick up is going to be Akira, because I can't get enough of it, clearly. And the other thing I watched was Star Wars The Phantom Menace. I've got all the Star Wars movies on my iPad, so I own all them as well. And my favourite thing to do is to watch it with the commentary. And most of the Star Wars movies, I've got 2 audio commentary tracks on them. So one is like George Lucas, Ben Burtt, Carrie Fisher, on the original Star Wars movies, for example. And then the other one is like more the cast and the crew. But I think it's like they've spliced together interviews. Must have taken them ages to do it. But when you like interviews with Ewan McGregor, I nearly say Conor McGregor, that little Irish ginger prick. Not a fan of him. Ewan McGregor, I am a fan of him though. So it's like, I think they've spliced all interviews together and put them in the right part of the film, and it just expands the Star Wars franchise even more, you know. So yeah, I really enjoy that. I probably prefer to watch the prequels with the commentary on them, you know. So that's what movies I've watched. YouTube. Right, this isn't normally I do channel of the week. I'm going to do channel of the week. But before we go there, I'm going to talk about the Wings versus Boogie. So Wings of Redemption versus Boogie 2988. Now, they're what they call them, like lol cows, aren't they? Of the internet. I can't remember. I know more, like DSP is the king of the lol cows in my opinion. Maybe Low Tier God and then Wings of Redemption. They're about the same. But Boogie, he's got millions of subscribers, but I don't dislike him. I'm like, meh, whatever. He's not entertaining. He's the detractor things on him. I just don't find him entertaining, or the videos about him entertaining. The only thing I thought was entertaining about him was he was bragging. He comes across as a nice person, but he was bragging, basically saying, I'm rich. I've invested my money. Now I'm rich. And then like a year or 2 years later, I'm poor. It was like, he was literally bragging about how rich he was. Why? I don't know. What he was hoping to get out of that, because in the YouTube community, if you're a big YouTuber, that can come back and bite you in the ass. So it's kind of almost karma. You shouldn't be bragging about how much money you've got. And I was lost all that money. But then with Wings of Redemption, okay, I was watching the detractor things of him, and he talks a lot of shit, and some of the stuff that he talks about, just my opinions on him, is very spiteful. He says some horrible things to people, like, I hope your family die in automobile wreck, and it's like, fucking hell, calm down, mate. But he's a gamer, hardcore. He's from the Call of Duty. Again, I'm not going to do the full backstory on Wings of Redemption, but then he's funny. He is entertaining. And I got to the point where, dare I say, I liked him. I thought he is good at video games. He plays Call of Duty. He hates Call of Duty now, but he's very good, I think. Again, just my opinion, at Rainbow Six Siege. And it makes me want to get into it, but a couple of my friends over the years have tried to get me into Siege, but we won't go into that. But I really enjoy watching Wings play Rainbow Six Siege. But then I found out, I hope it's not true, but I think it is. When he was a kid, I don't know, like a 5-6-year-old kid, he had a kitten, or he found a kitten or something, and trigger warning, apparently he put a bucket on top of like an upside down bucket on top of the kitten, and left her there for years to die and rot. And I think that's absolutely disgusting. I really hope that's just one of his stories. Like, he's more like, he doesn't care what he says on the internet. There's loads of controversies about him, okay? But as an entertainer, I could sit down and watch him live. Boogie, no. DSP, oh my god, no. the detractor channels do a very good job. Shout out to all the detractor channels with DSP. Because he's online all day, and then they cut it into like a 10-minute video on the shit he talks. He thinks he's a very important person. He probably puts himself up there with like the president. He thinks he should be on Mount Rushmore, kind of. He's deluded, right? So getting back to the boxing match, okay. So I wanted Wings of Redemption to win, and when you look at it, it was a mismatch. They're both, I don't know what £400 is in stone, but they are massive. Like, Boogie was like 35 stone a couple of years ago. That's ginormous. I don't know how tall these guys are. I don't think they're the tallest people. But when they squared up and then in the weigh-in and the face-off, there was flab coming out. I didn't like that. You can tell it's like boxing is so much more professional than YouTube boxing, because you had everybody thinks that everyone on the stage, everybody thinks everybody's there for them. So you go, it's Wings and Boogie's moment, and they're trying to make it about me. I'm in the background, and one guy said, "Yeah, it smells really bad up here on the microphone," or something like that. And it's like, don't disrespect people like that. Do you know what I mean? Why say that? But I never thought this would happen. I thought, imagine, people say, imagine those two having a fight. Or, you know, like, who'd win in a fight? This YouTuber or that YouTuber? I never thought these two would fight in a ring. I never thought Wings of Redemption would, because he was in London, wasn't it? I never thought he'd come to the UK for a fight. And I think they got paid $10,000 each. Probably all expenses paid for as well, okay? I hope, so to talk about the boxing, it was the doctor had to get involved, or the boxing commissioners, or, you know, the experts basically said, because I was worried yesterday, they both will be in hospital, or worse, if they had to fight three-minute rounds. So I think, so shout out as well to Keemstar, his boxing promotion thing. If it wasn't for Keemstar, love him or hate him, if it wasn't for that man, this would not have happened, okay? So Keemstar, or his company, wanted to do 3 1-minute 30 rounds, but then the boxing commissioners, I think, said a minute. They're not even fit enough to do it. I'm laughing, but it's like, a lot can happen in a minute though, you know. So it kind of went exactly how I thought. I saw like the build up, like Boogie, I'm not a boxing expert. There's so many people who think they're boxing experts out there. But from what I could see, Boogie was punching from the elbow. You know, there's no like from the legs, from the hips. There's none of that. It was just boop, boop, like kids fight, you know what I mean? But I know they had limited time to prepare. But I gotta be honest, Wings of Redemption, his footwork seemed to be right. And his punches looked like they hurt. I think it was 1 or 2 punches in the face, which didn't take him long. And Boogie's face was bright red. And he was, they were both knackered, don't get me wrong. Like, the walking, both of them had alright ring walks. But Boogie went first. I know normally in a boxing match, the boxer in the ring that's waiting for the other person to come in is like warming up. Boogie sat down. He was tired. Bless him, do you know what I mean? He's a big people, right? Staying with the ring walk then, Wings of Redemption was rapping on the way down. I think he came across very good. If you didn't know who he was, and what I hope, to be fair, to both of these YouTubers, I hope it like resparks their career or reignites their YouTube careers, you know. So yeah, they got paid $10,000. It's not life-changing money, but it's kind of, it's a lovely chunk of change. I would be there in a heartbeat, do you know what I mean? I don't know who I would love to fight. Surprise, surprise. Tony versus DSP in the ring. We're about the same age. I think I'm a lot bigger than him, taller, reach, and have all the advantage. I'll fight him any place. I'll fight him in 10 minutes notice. I don't care. But I really hope that their careers does take off. I think they both deserve it. It's got a lot of guts, when they're taking the tops off, and like the flab has got flab on it. They're morbidly obese people, and I don't know if I want to see them do it again, because I don't know who would they fight. Unless it's a rematch. I think Boogie's crying out for a rematch. So basically, going back to the fight, I know I'm jumping all over the place. I think it got stopped. The referee stopped the fight in the first round. It's free to watch on YouTube as well, guys. If you want to go watch it. Like, I'm shit at explaining things in case you didn't know. He did one of those standing counts, and he puts his gloves up, and the second time, I think in the second round, the referee waved it off. And he did. He definitely did the right thing. The only person that was pissed off was Boogie, but he was having his ass kicked. He was being battered by the younger. I think he was a couple of pounds heavier as well. The bigger man won the fight, basically. So I hope it's good for their careers. But the reason I was talking about DSP in there as well, I'm going to talk about DSP a bit more on my channel as well. I might do DSP designated videos, okay? I'm not going to become a DSP fanatic. I leave that to the professionals, But I'm talking about YouTube where I've been watching. This is where I've been watching. So Keemstar, can you imagine, right? Keemstar wanted to pay Wings of Redemption, Boogie 2988, and DSP. He was going to give them $50,000 each signing on fee to do a podcast, and they split it 25% each. So Keemstar, with his connections, because he's a big YouTuber and he knows it's his idea, he would know how to promote this right, and he'd give DSP $50,000 signing on, and he was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. So he turned it down. So I really hope, I think the rumour is that Wings and Boogie are going to now's the best time, strike while the iron's hot, to have their podcast. So never mind DSP, he's gone, he wasn't interested, but I really hope that's a raging success, like the boxing match was a raging success. And I hope it does nothing but good for both of them, That's enough rambling on that. So, this week's video of the week. The channel name is Souths Unboxing. I will tag the channel in the description as I normally do. And the video is unboxing Trek to Yomi Deluxe Edition for the PlayStation 5. So, if you didn't know, Trek to Yomi is a samurai game that came out last year. It was digital only, and I didn't play it. I watched a couple of playthroughs on it and all the reviews, and I've really liked what I've seen, and I thought I'd really like a physical copy. So they announced then, due to the demand, it's not a long game, it's like a 4 or 5 hour game, and it's black and white, and it's set like the art style I think is absolutely stunning. To know, like the black and white you can do in Ghost of Tsushima, that filter, the whole game is like that, but it's more 2/3D, but it's mainly 2D. Dare I say, like hack and slash maybe. Again, I apologise, I'm not very good at explaining things. So they released it on, I think, Switch, PS4, PS5, and I'm not sure if it's on Xbox, maybe Xbox as well. Then there was a demand for a deluxe version. So as soon as I got wind there's a deluxe version coming out, I thought I'm going to wait for that. And it came out 2 weeks ago or something like that. And there's not a lot of channels, or YouTubers rather, have done just an unboxing. There's some where they got like gloves on and they play like the nice music and the camera's just like pointing down and like they got the nice knife and they are unboxing it. But I want someone to talk about it, maybe give their thoughts and impressions. Like basically when I pick up the Mad Gearbox Street Fighter 6 collection, I'm going to have to resist the urge to touch myself. Not joking. Sorry, bad joke. I'm going to be very excited unboxing that, and I will. I'm going to have to stay patient and remember to put the camera on to share it, share my thoughts and impressions with you guys, yeah? So it was nice to see a YouTuber unbox it, but he would tell a bit of the story, like I said, like the backstory. He explains really well what the game's about. He's got the nice knife and stuff like that. I don't think you get to see the guy's face, but it's down, but he's talking very professionally, explaining what's in there. And then right at the end, it like cuts off. There's like an art book, as you'd expect. It's a beautiful looking art book. He goes through the art book as well, like not like every page, but he does like a nice flick through, and it's basically the closest thing you get to like going to the shop, opening it up yourself and having a look and deciding do you buy it or not. So everything I wanted to know about that before buying it, he's done a 10 out of 10 job on that. So the channel was South's Unboxing, and it's, you can tell by the channel's name, it's all videos on unboxing. And I think his first video was the Amiga edition King of Fighters 15, which I've got the PS4 version, but he does it on the PS5 version. So yeah, go check out that that video. What have I been reading? You'd think, because I haven't been sleeping, I should be reading loads, because reading makes most people tired, isn't it? Again, I'm still reading Alien. I want to finish it, but it's good. But I just want to get through my backlog of books, basically. I used to read every single night, like religiously, 30 pages minimum, every single night, 365 nights a year, you know. But now I'm a bit more relaxed with my reading, you know. So I've got 130 odd pages to go. I could read it in a week, but who knows. But yeah, I'm still getting through that. But where we're at now is these aliens, xenomorphs, are clever. Looks like the survivors are being, I think the xenomorphs can kill them at any time, but they're like hoarding them, I think, to in a trap where the facehuggers are going to be waiting for them. That's my theory on it anyway. But yeah, it's interesting. Again, it's not based on any of the movies. The only thing from the Alien movies is the xenomorphs, and Ripley is in there. Okay, so now this is strange, right? So shout out Ricky. Ricky bought me this. It's just one of the things in the goodie bag. Ricky, someone I used to work with. He got me a leaving present, but the present turned out to be a bag. Still there. This bag full of goodies, okay? And this is one of the things that was in there. And I started reading on the train on the way home from Comic-Con yesterday. The Akira is in there, all right? So I was like, is this like a censored version of Akira? Because I watch Akira all the time. I've read the books once, and I was like, this is really different than the books, I was thinking, reading through it, you know? And I thought, oh, is it a prequel? Or is it like, I thought, because it's like from 1993, like this could have been on the shelf. They couldn't have all the blood and guts and the gore and all that stuff in something you could buy over the counter. So I thought, all right, okay, so it's like a different take on Akira, maybe when they translated it, they've made it like dumbed down, a bit more family friendly kind of thing. So I read that, all of Akira in there, bit of it, like half on the train, and that's what I read last night. And I got up and I thought, I wonder if, so that's the original. And do you know what? To my absolute surprise, it's identical. But my brain, because I've watched the movie so many times, my brain is telling me I'm reading. Oh, I remember reading that. Like the bit where the dogs get shot, for example, and there's blood all over the car right at the beginning in that chase, and the police shoot that guy that's trying to help that small person, and there's blood, and they keep shooting him. It's like the start of start of Robocop, the first scene with this that Ed 209's blowing him away and he's on the table. It's kind of reminiscent of that, and I thought, yeah, I read that in there, so I flicked through word for word, page for page. It's identical. So isn't it funny how the brain has played a trick on me there, thinking that that's not identical to that, but it turns out it is. It blew my mind anyway. So I read Akira, and that's really got me back in the mood to get back into Akira. But the plan is to, once I finish that, I'm going to read, I got 2 volumes, huge, like 700-page volumes of Berserk. I want to get back into that, because if I go, I'm not going to read just 1 volume, am I? I used to do them once a week. When I read them, I read 1 a week rather, and there's 6 of them. So that'll take me at least 6 weeks then. So I'm going to not read that. I'm going to read Berserk, then go back to that probably. But I love Akira, but isn't it funny? It's one of my favourite things in the world, franchises, and I got confused. I would have argued with someone, and without looking at that, I would have argued with someone. They said, no, it's exactly the same. I was 100% certain it wasn't, so that is what I've been playing, watching, and reading. So in the week, I said this last week, I want to watch the new Avatar movie. I watched the trailer for it. I don't know if I like the look of it. Dare I say? Everybody that's watched it said it's amazing, but it's not as good as the first one. Should I watch it? I'm going to eventually watch it, but it's available on iTunes. That's the reason. I might treat myself, but I might not. I'd like to watch it. That will take me all week to watch, because they're not short films, are they? The Avatar movies. I want to play... I want to Street Fighter demo. There's the open beta is next weekend, and I'm on holiday. It's like, are you kidding me? I'm not 100% going though. So things with the fact I got issues with the family at the moment, unfortunately, as we all do. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going, but I've got the time off work. So I'm either gonna be smashing it, next weekend, or I won't be touching it at all next weekend. I want to get into that Shadow of War as well. So if I get tired of Horizon, I'm going to quickly get rid of that, trade that in, get it gone. Or I'll get into it and hang on to it. At the moment, there's nothing there. It's nothing new, I really am looking forward to playing that. And then probably it's going to be Killer Instinct. Might get back into Street Fighter 5, ready then for Street Fighter 6 coming out. It's only 3 weeks away. Wow, 3 weeks. Everyone in the world will be playing that. So that is my weekly recap. Let me know in the comments, what have you been playing? I generally want to know what you've been playing. If you're new here, please consider Hadouken that subscribe button. Have a great week. I'll probably aim to do a couple of videos in the week. It's not the end of the world if I don't. Have a great week, guys. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.